From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
I'm April Cummings with your headlines. The Cayman Islands joined the global community today in celebrating International Youth Day 2025. The Lions Club of Tropical Gardens marked the occasion, highlighting the contributions of young people to building a sustainable future. President Lion Norman Tony Howell praised local youth for their passion and leadership, noting their involvement in Leo clubs, mental health initiatives, and empowerment forums. This year's theme, Youth Empowerment for a Sustainable Future, calls for equipping the next generation with tools, mentorship, and opportunities to drive positive change. In international headlines, the Israeli military says it recently struck a group of militants in the Gaza Strip who were disguised as aid workers and using a car with the logo of World Central Kitchen, an international charity founded by celebrity chef Jose Andres. The army said it carried out an airstrike on the men after confirming with the charity that they weren't affiliated with it and that the car did not belong to them. The military shared video footage showing several men in yellow vests standing around a vehicle with the charity's logo on its roof. The military said 5 of the men were armed. Some of the 800 National Guard members deployed by U.S. President Donald Trump began arriving in the U.S. Capitol, ramping up after the White House ordered federal forces to take over the city's police department and reduce crime in what the president called a lawless city. The influx came the morning after Trump announced he would be activating the Guard members and taking over the department. He cited a crime emergency, but referred to the same crime that city officials stress is already falling noticeably. The president holds the legal right to make such moves for at least a month. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born September 25th, 1947 at Watering Place, Cayman Brac, Royce Adolphus Dilbert was the firstborn son of Hallen and Grace Dilbert, née Tibbets. Like many of the men of his time, he spent many years at sea. During his breaks from sea life, Mr. Dilbert employed his diverse skill sets. He worked at Alfred Scott's block factory as a mechanic with Eston Scott, and his uncle Bergman Dilbert performed dynamite blasting in Cayman Brac with the late Reverend Lee King, as well as worked at MRCU in Grand Cayman. He was also an entrepreneur selling fruits, cars, and tires, and painted and repaired vehicles. His mechanical skills proved immeasurable when in 1979, working in the Campeche Bank oil field, Mexico, his ship was chartered by Halliburton to supply material to cap the exploratory well which blew out in Mexico's Bay of Campeche. In 1981, he retired from sea and took employment with the Cayman Brac Power and Light Company as chief engineer, where he remained until his retirement in December of 2018.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your guest host, Orrett Connor, and I'm going to share this press release that came out yesterday. I'm sure that you would have heard it on Radio Cayman's news. I don't believe that it has been discussed in fine detail on any of our platforms here or talk shows so far. And it has to do with the Cayman Islands government gazetting the Q2 2025 financial report. It has been gazetted, which means now it is a public document as well. So it reads, quarterly financial report for the 6-month period ended the 30th of June 2025 was published in the Cayman Islands Gazette on Friday, the 8th of August 2025, as required by law. The unaudited financial results, so they're not audited, they're unaudited, for the second quarter 2025 shows a $194 million year-to-date surplus for core government and a $201.5 million surplus for the entire public sector. So for government, core government, it is $194 million, and for the entire public service, it is $201.5 million, which the entire public service, I'm going to just guess and say that would probably include statutory authorities and government companies, but I will have that clarified with you for you soon as well. Net assets of government were $2.6 billion, with overall bank account balances of $494.8 million in cash and deposits. So the government has almost $500 million in cash and deposits. Under the heading of surplus, it says that the overall entire public service surplus of $201.5 million was $42.1 million, or 26% greater than the projected year-to-date operating surplus of $159.4 million. So the projected year-to-date operating surplus was at $159.4 million. It has come out at $201.5 million. So again, exceeding expectations, exceeding the projected amounts as well. The release then goes on to say that this favorable position was due to actual revenues being higher than budgeted by $61.4 million for the period, primarily due to coercive revenue being $53.1 53 million higher than expected, and investment revenue showing a positive variance of 7.3 million. The higher than expected revenues were complemented by lower levels of expenditure in personnel costs, which were 8.8 million less than budgeted, as well as lower spending on supplies and consumables, which was 8.2 million less than budgeted. So far, folks, based on what I'm seeing here, it seems everything seems to be quite positive, quite upbeat as well. But I will share more of this with you after we take this caller. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Talk Today. I don't think that caller is listening because we can hear noise in the background. As soon as he connects with us, Paul, let me know. Meanwhile, I will continue to share this information with you. So the surplus we spoke about, the year-on-year comparison. So they're going to compare one year to the other. Comparing year-on-year numbers, the entire public service surplus was $14.9 million lower than that achieved for the same period in 2024. So we're down when we compare 2025, the same period in 2025, to the same period in 2024, down by $14.9 million. Statutory authorities and government-owned companies, known by the acronym SAGC's, results through the second quarter of 2025 showed a negative variance of $5.7 million when compared to the same period in 2024. Compared to the same period in the prior year, total revenues of core government have increased by $51.5 million, while total expenses of government have risen by $60.7 million for the comparable period as well. I'm going to pause there for a second and talk back. Do we go straight through without a commercial break now, Paul? Okay. About statutory authorities, and I will have to do some research, or maybe someone can send me a WhatsApp message, 925-3261, about the contributions, the financial contributions that statutory authorities and government companies are legally required to contribute to the government purse. We know that they have the ability to hold back a certain amount, and also the ability to pay in certain amounts to core government as well. Be curious to know what those percentages are, as well, and whether or not the statutory authorities and government companies, whether or not they underperformed during this period from January to June, whether or not they underperformed as well. Maybe the press release will clarify more of it, but let's see. So talking about revenues, the first 6 months of 2025 generated total revenues of $766.3 million, which was $61.4 million more than budgeted expectations and $51.5 million higher than the 2024 year-to-date actual results, mainly due to coercive revenues being $53 million higher than budgeted. The positive variance on Q2 2025 coercive revenues compared to budget can be broken down as follows. So they have broken it down. I'm going to pause there for a second and just speculate and interject as well. So there was a lot of criticism about the last iteration of coalition government before the elections in April of 2025. And there was criticism about spending. Some persons may have gotten the impression that they were spending and not knowing where the money was coming from. But if you look at this particular report here, I would venture to say that if they were aware of these projections, then they knew that they could spend money on purchasing land, valuable land that needs to be back into the hands of Caymanians and the Cayman Islands government, and all of the other things that they may have embarked upon as well. If they knew what the projections were like, and I am sure that you don't see surpluses in these amounts, they don't just show up at one time, that you see it progressing. It's like a bank account. If you keep putting money into your bank account, and let's say, for instance, you end up with $200,000, unless you deposited the $200,000 in one full swoop, as opposed to depositing a little 10,000 here, a little 25,000 here, or whatever, then you see it grow. So the surpluses didn't appear, all of a sudden. So those projections were there. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out in the discussions as well as in the debate in our parliament when all of the final results come out as well. So the positive variance on Q2 2025 coercive revenue, and I got to look at what coercive revenue, how is defined. Again, if you're listening out there and you know the definition of coercive revenue as far as government is concerned, let me know. But I believe that it has to do with certain obligations that individuals and companies have, where they have to, you can't get around paying a particular fee for whatever, like for instance, maybe, work permit fees, driver's license, vehicle license. Maybe those are the things that are considered to be coercive revenue. But if you're knowing, or if you know anything about that, or if you're a friend or a colleague of the financial secretary, send me a WhatsApp message, 925-3261. Let me know what coercive measures, what they mean. That will avoid me having to Google it up as well. So let's look at it. So the positive variance in Q2 2025 coercive revenue compared to budget can be broken down as follows. So this is how they ended up with those positive variances. Other company fees. Exempt companies were $27.6 million higher than the $93 million expected budgeted amount for the second quarter due to increased registration. When compared to prior year-to-date performance, the 2025 results were $17 million better. So, exempt companies. Partnership fees exceeded budget by $15.3 million, owing to higher than anticipated registration in this category. Compared to the prior year actual, there is an $8.9 million positive variance. So, and just two that I have shared so far, exempt other company fees, exempt companies, $17.1 million, and partnership fees, $8.9 million. That in itself, that's $26 million right there, $26 million. Private fund fees performed $9.1 million, better than the $59.4 million anticipated due to an increase in the volume of funds registered. The current year results for these fees are $6.6 million higher than the actual results for the prior year-to-year performance. So here again, another $6.6 million. If we add that on to the, what did I say, 26 million, that's $32.6 million right there. Stamp duty. Land transfers were $10 million higher due to greater volume of property transactions coupled with increasing property values. The 2025 duties of $48.1 million are $2.5 million more than for the comparable period in 2024. So there we go again. That's another $2.5 million. That brings it up to about $34 million. DITC penalties and fines, I don't know what DITC stands for, contributed $7.5 million in unbudgeted revenue as fines were charged on breaches of applicable laws. Well, we know for sure that work, CBC, they collected a lot of fines. That would be one area. I would imagine customs, there would probably be some customs fines as well. Those are my words, not part of the release. So let me repeat that. So DITC penalties and fines contributed $7.5 million in unbudgeted revenue as fines are charged on breaches of applicable laws. The 2025 fines are $4.7 million more than those received for the same period in 2024. Notwithstanding the overall favorable results in coercive revenues collected when compared to the 2025 budget, there were certain areas that fell short of projected expectations. So let's take a look at those areas that fell short of projected expectations. Other import duties amounted to $14.3 million, less than anticipated, and $2.0 million less than the prior year to date amount. Import duties, that's interesting. What would have accounted for import duties to be less? And also DITC filing fees. I still got to find out what that DITC stands for. DITC filing fees were anticipated to commence in 2025, but this was not implemented due to a policy decision resulting in an $8.4 million negative variance against budget in that category. So in this particular case, simply because the fees were not implemented, then they were unable to collect for that. And it says total investment revenue produced $12 million, which was $7.3 million more than anticipated for the 6-month period. higher cash balances held by the government have afforded larger values to be placed on deposits, and this has increased income earnings on investments as well. So you're getting more money in the bank, more you're getting in terms of interest as well. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Orrett Connor.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Okay, and you?
I'm good. Anything to tell me about the budget? The financials so far? First 6 months?
Say that again?
I say anything to comment about what I just shared about the Q2 results in terms of our financial position.
Okay, well, really no comment on that.
Okay.
But I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Concerning the 25-year contract that the government signed with CUC. When it comes to the government being paid by CUC during that 25 years, do you have anything that can show on record how much money CUC pays the government on a yearly basis or in 25 years?
I don't have anything on hand for that, but I'm sure that it's something that the government has the ability to produce.
Yes, because if the government has CUC or utility company leased to CUC, and we know that CUC is making some good money, I think it would be very important for the people of the Cayman Islands to know how much CUC is paying the government on this 25-year contract.
Okay, we'll see what we can find out for you. And, of course, once we find it out, we will certainly let you know either here on Talk Today or on For the Record. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. We're going to go to a commercial break. I made to understand that we're going to have guests in the studio, so don't change that dial. Please stay tuned if you want to know who's going to be on with us and what they will be talking about.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Looking to transform your space? From custom homes to commercial spaces, we bring your vision to life with precision. quality, and elegance. At Mike's Builders, we make it happen.
Mike's Builders turned my dream home into a reality. Their team is professional, efficient, and truly the best in the business. Good communication? Check. Cleanliness? Check. Professionalism? On point. You have to try Mike's Builders for yourself.
Call us today at 923-0706. That's 923-0706. Mike's Builders. Let's build a beautiful world together.
Are you a Caymanian job seeker? Work urges Caymanians to use the Work Jobs portal, the only platform that allows Work to verify that Caymanians are being considered first, as the law requires. You can browse job listings across a wide range of sectors and apply directly from the portal. Register today by visiting work.ky. That's worc.ky, or email customer care at worc@gov.ky for assistance. Don't miss your chance. Your career opportunity could just be a few clicks away.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecast, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. We're going to have a very exciting conversation here. I actually had the honor and pleasure of being in the studio when we had a raffle not too long ago. So we have some of the contestants, or Cayman International Girls. They're just back from Nashville, so we're going to be talking a lot about that as well. We have three of the contestants in the studio, and we also have Miss Priscilla Pucci, who is the co-director of Cayman International Girls. Ladies, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for being here as well. So we're going to have Miss Priscilla kick it off for us.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, we recently returned from Nashville, and we did very well. We'll get into a little bit more about the girls that are here with us today and the titles that they hold. But we want to give some shout outs, a huge thank you to our community. With our fundraising events, everybody was very, very helpful, very supportive. We had several locations. So we had Foster's at Savannah, Airport and West Bay, who are allowing us to use their facilities. We also had A.L. Thompson's. We had Foster's Camana Bay as well. We had Cost You Less. So thank you so much to those organizations for allowing us to be out there for weeks and weeks, selling our raffle tickets and our baked goods. And then, of course, everybody who supported by purchasing those raffle tickets and baked goods. It really helped a lot. We were able to carry 15 girls in our delegation. Wow. And we came back home with 10 or 11 titles, as well as lots of alternates and other awards. So what we have here in the studio today is 3 of the international winners. So these girls did compete in Nashville against the other states, and they brought back home to Cayman those overall titles, and we are so proud of them. And we'll get them to introduce themselves, starting with our Petite Miss.
Hello everyone, my name is Isabelle Barnes. I'm 6 years old, representing the beautiful Cayman Islands.
Hello, everyone. Representing the vibrant Cayman Islands, I am 14-year-old Cassidy Folks, and I am your junior teen winner.
Congrats.
Hello, everyone. I'm Isabelle Benita, coming to you from the award-winning beaches of the Cayman Islands. I am 16 years old, and I am your 2025 Teen Miss.
Okay, great. So we want to hear about what happened over in Nashville since I was unable to be there myself. And how did it go?
It did good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a week-long competition. It was 3 or 4 days. Wow. There was several categories to compete in, so each of the girls had to compete in interview, as well as casual wear, formal wear, and talent for those who are 7 and up. Those under 6, well, I should say 4 to 6, did on-stage question and answer, which is known as personality. And then the baby contestants have playtime, so the judges get to see how they interact with each other and with the queens and so forth. The girls also competed in lots of optional events. So we had top model, we had beautiful doll, we had optional talent. Is there any other? Oh, photo competitions as well, which we had several photo awards that we won. Isabelle, do you want to tell us a little bit about how your category went, like when you had to do personality on stage?
It did good. I thought I was going to faint during the thing.
Why?
I was out of breath and I was nervous.
And this is actually Isabelle's first time competing in a pageant. So she competed locally in March. She did not win here. I think she got 4th here, but then you see with those additional weeks of practice and of course a different setting, different judges, how she was able to be victorious for her category.
And this was all held at one venue or different venues throughout?
So you want to talk about that?
So every year the international pageant, they do the pageant at a specific hotel, and some people choose to like stay in the hotel as well, but every year they host it in the ballroom, and most of the competitions and on-stage presences are held in the ballroom except for interview, which is held in a private room, so you can have your own one-on-one personal time with the judges without any interruptions. So, yeah.
And as Isa mentioned, they have the contestants stay in the hotel where the event is going to be hosted, so that you don't have people arriving late because they were stuck in traffic and they got lost, various things like that.
Okay, that sounds pretty good in terms of the venue itself. Anything else you want to tell us about Nashville?
Not really about Nashville, but the pageant itself. Every year, I love coming to the pageant specifically for the people, because every single year we meet a bunch of people from mostly different states, and those girls are honestly so nice, and I love the friendships that I make while I'm away. I have so many friends from everywhere in every different state, and I love it so much. They're so nice, and also, I like to kind of be an ambassador for Cayman sometimes because those girls never know anything about Cayman. So I just have to be there like, let me educate you. So, and a lot of them like to come and visit, and we show them around to all the tourist places, Turtle Farm, Stingray City. We actually have our Miss Queen who won with us away. She's coming here for spring break and for our pageant, and we're going to be showing her around. So I'm very excited for that.
So you maintain contact with the friends that you have made after the pageant?
Yes.
Okay. Now you mentioned other states. Are other countries also represented?
Previously, we've had South Africa also participate. This year, our participation numbers was a little lower than usual, and I'm sure it's a struggle for them to travel so far. They also have winter during our summertime, so it's a change of climate. But on that note, they are actively recruiting and trying to expand into other states within the USA. Miss Ivana, who is actually the local director, has recently been appointed to regional director. So she will actively be trying to recruit participants from Jamaica and the Bahamas and other places within the region as well.
Okay, you wanted to say something, young lady?
I just wanted to touch on the friendships being made, like Isabella said. I love the friendships that are made. Even if you don't win, it's like an experience for the lifetime that you'll remember forever. And the Miss Queen is coming to Cayman for our pageant. and we are going to be her tour guide. But I just love the friendships that are made. So even if you don't win, it's like you feel like you win.
Right. So I guess the thing is that you're not only taking away a crown and a title. You know, you take away friendships, you take away additional skills as well, and networking, you know, for the teens and the older contestants, the women contestants. They get to network whether, you know, they're interested in entrepreneurship or whether they want to learn more about universities in different states. They have those connections where they can ask and talk about those things.
would like to add on to the skills and the friendship. Skills specifically, I've been doing this pageant for years and years and years, and you wouldn't believe how much it has helped me, especially now that I'm older, because we have to be trained for interviewing skills, and that has helped me a lot, especially for school recently, because I've just left high school. They made us do like a practice interview, you know, just to help with what it would be like when you get a job and things like that, and everyone is there struggling, trying to like figure it out, but for me, because I have been trained for years, it was like really easy for me, and I was able to help other people and show them the proper etiquette for when you're in an interview, how to speak, what things to do, what not to do. And for the friendship, I've actually had a friend for like 6 or maybe 7 or 8 years, because she's done the pageant with me continuously. She actually won in 2023, and she came back to watch me this year, and she has never been prouder of me, and I love her so much. Her name is Jensen, and I've just known her since we were little. We have like a photo of us. It's amazing.
What state she's from? She's from...
I think she's from Alabama.
Yeah, she's from Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to kind of clarify, you know, because we're talking and we know the system, we have several age categories. So this pageant is open to women of all ages, girls of all ages. We have little babies in there, so 0 to 2. Is the baby miss, and then we have 2 to 4, which is tiny miss. 4 to 6 is petite miss. That's the one Isabelle competed in. Then we have 7 to 10, which is little miss. We have young miss 10 to 12. Then we have junior teen. Then we have teen, which starts at 16, and then we have women. So you can either be unmarried with no kids or married with kids. So we have Miss and Ms.
Now, you mentioned sponsorship earlier, and you acknowledged, you know, many of the sponsors as well. And we have heard these young ladies talk about being ambassadors for Cayman, and it's certainly, you know, we see that it has paid off because of the contacts that they have made. You know, people then deciding to come to visit the Cayman Islands because they have never, you know, heard of it before. But at the same time, most of the funds that you raise, you have to raise it on your own. Do you think you can get the type of recognition from the government, either from the Ministry of Tourism or the Ministry of Sports and Youth and Culture, you know, in relation to helping to support so that you can gain more traction? Because, I mean, you hear a 16-year-old and younger talking about being ambassadors and being so proud, you know, of the Cayman Islands. How can we get that to continue and to gain even more traction?
Well, we would absolutely love to partner with more private companies and government entities as well for sponsorship, but absolutely shout out to the Ministry of Tourism and Trade and Development. We did receive a sponsorship from them this year, and we have received sponsorship from the Ministry of Tourism in previous years as well. So that is something that we would obviously appreciate and love to continue. But if there is any private companies who would like to get involved, certainly reach out to us via our email, which you can find on our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and we would love to talk about how you can possibly help this program.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. So when we come back, we're going to continue to talk along those lines as well. Because, you know, we're talking about building communities, we're talking about building character, and at the end of the day, those private companies out there stand to benefit, you know, from us developing good, productive citizens as well. So, it could be worth their while as well.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we're going to continue the conversation. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. We're talking with the Cayman International Girls. Please stay tuned.
There's something new at Subway. Indulge your taste buds with our new barbecue pork rib sandwich tender. Smoky pork ribs smothered in sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, built just the way you like it. It's bold, rich, and seriously satisfying. But hurry, it's here for a limited time only. Order now on the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick in-store pickup, or get it delivered with Bento or Let's Eat. The all-new barbecue pork rib sandwich, only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
Yummy. Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Freedom, Cayman Brac. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Looking to transform your space? From custom homes to commercial spaces, we bring your vision to life with precision, quality, and elegance. At Mike's Builders, we make it happen.
Mike's Builders turned my dream home into a reality. Their team is professional, efficient, and truly the best in the business. Good communication? Check. Cleanliness? Check. Professionalism? On point. You have to try Mike's Builders for yourself.
Call us today at 923-0706. That's 923-0706. Mike's Builders. Let's build a beautiful world together.
Hey man, it's time to move. Lace up those sneakers and join the Alzheimer's and Dementia Association of the Cayman Islands on Sunday, September 7th at Kamana Bay for the World Walks Against Dementia 2025 5K Run Walk. Be part of something big, a global movement spanning 61 countries, and the walk and run together to raise awareness and support for people living with dementia, their families, and caregivers. One day, one cause, one powerful step at a time. Register now at Race Caribbean or download the form at adacayman.ky. Adults are $25 and children 17 and under or $10. Let's walk for those who can't. Let's walk for change. Let's walk against dementia. ADACI. Together, we're making a difference.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. In the studio with me, we have representatives from Cayman International Girls. They are back from competition in Nashville. We have in the studio with us some of the contestants as well as Miss Priscilla Pucci, who's the co-director of Cayman International Girl. We're going to throw the mic back over to Miss Priscilla.
Thank you so much, OC. So now we just want to kind of dig into what the program offers. We are a youth development program. Like I said, it's even open to adults. There's always room for improvement. And we are going to talk about some of the accolades that we won overseas and how that affects our local royalty as well. So during the competition, it was a week long. We competed in many different categories. Everybody was fatigued by the final day, moms, dads, grandmothers, and certainly the contestants. And those are some of the traits that we aim to teach our contestants as they're coming up through the program, friendliness, that was just mentioned, and the girls will talk more about that. Being an ambassador, but as well as building your confidence and persevering, and enduring, because we have had Cassidy and Isabelle competing with us since 2015 when we started here in Cayman. And finally, they're reaping the fruits of that perseverance. And we have, in addition to the 3 girls who won their international titles, we also had 3 who won Princess, which is the 2nd place. Okay. We had 3 who won Talent. We had 1 who won Beauty, 1 Personality. And then we also had 3 girls who won International Doll. And then we have Miss Cassidy, who also won Top Model for her division. Wow. So Cassidy, can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
Thank you. I was very, 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 very nervous. I can say that much. I did not think I was going to win Top Model at all. I do have to shout out my Tio Danilo. He helped me through the whole thing. And I'm very glad that I had him on my side and every one of the Cayman girls. And I'm glad that I had my mom by my side, my sister to give me pep talks
that
behind
family
stage.
support.
Yes.
Great,
absolutely.
great.
Even the girls from different states, Alabama, they were all there pep talking us, and I was pep talking them. It was just a very, very fun experience. I won Beautiful Doll, or Living Doll.
Congratulations.
I won Top Model, and I won the official title. I also won Best Interview and Best Smile. And when I got those awards, I just felt this wash of happiness all over me. It just felt like it was something that was long awaited. But I don't want it to be like I'm trying to be boastful. But I just feel like I deserved it because I did put my best effort into it.
A lot of work.
Yes.
And also, it's so funny because Cassidy was put in last minute. We were like, you know what, we're going to have Cassidy. And she went and represented Cayman so well. It was amazing. But to touch on the Top Model, because me and Cassidy have won internationally and she has won Top Model, we have now been invited to go to New York again this year, because we did go in February as well and represented Cayman on the stage for New York Fashion Week. And now we've been invited again to go next year to, go model and represent in New York. And we've also have our annual, or they always do an annual Christmas trip. So this year we're also going to Disneyland. We've been invited to go, all 3 of us. So we're excited about that. And
New York Fashion Week, that's a big
yes.
deal.
And they get
huge deal.
They get their faces on the big billboards and stuff, so that when they're walking out on the street, they see themselves.
That was a surreal moment. That was incredible to see. Like, it was amazing. And then it started snowing for the first time. That I've never seen snow before. So I saw snow for the first time in my face on a billboard in Times Square. That was a surreal moment. That was amazing.
They also participate in workshops while they're there. So the designers that they're going to be working with will give them tips on, different walks and poses and stuff to use on the runway as well.
Great.
And then we meet the talent agents. Shout out to Miss Tina Marie. She's a talent agent, and the first year I went there, oh my gosh, I had learned so much about the modeling industry and even the acting industry itself. So she's an actual talent agent. She actually represented Raven Simone. I was so shocked when I heard that. I was like, what? So, and now she basically just gives us the tips that we need to help us go more into that industry. And she's helpful, and she's not trying to be like, oh, you guys aren't good enough or nothing like that. She genuinely tries to help and make us all, encourage us all to get into the industry, because she knows that we all can do it. and her partner as well. It's amazing.
And she builds your confidence too, because not a lot of people go in there with confidence. And I can say that as an experience. I did not go in there with confidence. And then when I went on that final walk in the dress, I just felt like it was the moment. And she pushed me, and I had so much confidence on the runway.
So we just want to highlight that there's several elements to this pageant, right? No matter your interest, it's not just about winning the crown. Everybody wants the crown, of course. But if you're interested in modeling on runway, that's something that we can help with. And it is a different walk than what you would do for the pageant. So those are separate skills that you're learning. As well as, like I said, there's a photo competition as well. So if you're interested in print modeling, we have several categories in the photo competition. And we had several winners.
Yeah, this
who
Glamour
had
Girl,
Glamour,
Miss Photogenic, some
we had some photogenic winners, and then Anais was cover model.
Yes.
So we had several winners from Cayman as well.
So if someone listening out there had an interest in this, or had a child or a grandchild, whomever that may be interested in joining Cayman International Girls, tell us, about the activities. Is it a year-round thing in terms of preparation?
Absolutely.
And let's give out some contact details and stuff.
We will be gearing up for our 2026 pageant. Closer to the end of this year, we'll start advertising for early registration. We do train the girls for several weeks leading up to the local competition as well. And then we encourage all of the participants to travel overseas because funny things happen OC. So like I said, Isabelle competed here. It was her first time. I'm sure there was some butterflies going on and, obviously a learning curve for her. So she did not place in the top 3 in Cayman. But then with that extra work and her confidence by being on the stage that one time, when we went overseas, she was able to shine and she was able to grab that international title. And so, it's important no matter what title you get to represent that title. So what's going to happen next weekend, actually, we have an annual Breakfast of Champions where we kind of reconvene after we're back from overseas. And if there's any recrownings to be done, that will happen at that event. And we are very excited this year that we have the little girl in the Petite Miss, who was the princess, is now going to be crowned as the queen, because Isabelle has gotten the international title. So she's the successor to the local title, and she will be getting crowned. Her name is Germany Gale. And then we have another little girl in the 7 to 10. Her name is Alice Wheeler. She actually won the Sapphire Award locally. She won Princess internationally, so she did very, very well. She also won Doll, and she will be getting that local Little Miss Queen crown now, as we've had someone who was unable to fulfill their duties, and so she is also being moved up into that space. So, all these things that we talk about, having a good attitude and all these things, they're important, especially as a runner-up, because you just never know what will happen, and things can change, and for some reason, you may end up being that title holder. So we're super, super excited to have such a large royalty court this year. As Issa and Cassidy were not a part of the local court, and we have Isabelle, we have Germany coming in, so we have about 8 or 9 queens that are going to be reigning until March of 26. Yes.
And what's the venue for the Breakfast of Champions?
That's going to be held at the Constitution Hall here in Georgetown. Okay. It's not an open invitation. Sorry.
It's just for the participants.
Yes. But we do have a very family-oriented atmosphere. So we're going to have siblings there. We'll have grandparents there, of course, to congratulate those girls. And not just those who are getting a crown at the Breakfast of Champions or those who got crowns overseas, but also acknowledging all the hard work that all of our contestants have done, regardless of their placement, regardless of what awards they have done. Certainly, we do see the growth from those who come out year after year and move into different categories. They're challenged in different ways, from becoming 6 to 7, now you have to compete in talent. So there's so many different ways that the girls grow, and we certainly do see that growth. As Isabella said, even in real life application, when you have interviews and different things like that, you're used to meeting strangers.
Mhm,
You know, you're used to having these discussions.
Yeah.
And so it really does help
It's a
you.
character builder.
Yes,
I actually
absolutely.
want to add on to that. We not only just do the pageant itself, and we do our fundraising to help us, but we also do community service. We do we're very included in our community, so we always go to the Pines to help and be there with the elderly, entertain them. This year we also helped with the mangrove.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a charity of choice each year.
Mhm.
Two of our fundraisers actually are dedicated to those charities where we donate the funds. It was the National Trust this year. And then, as Isa said, throughout the year, we have them do different services, whether it be
Meals on
volunteering for a
Wheels.
5K,
Yeah.
Meals on Wheels, the Pines, different things like that throughout the year. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations again. Great having you on the show as well, and look forward to next year as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Folks, we've reached that time, top of the hour. We're going to have our headline news, and when we return, we will have open mic for less than a half an hour. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
We are Radio Cayman,
covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
The Cayman Islands Under-14 girls national team leaves today for Trinidad and Tobago to compete in the 2025 Caribbean Football Union Under-14 Challenge Series Girls. It is taking place from the 15th to the 24th of August. Cayman will compete in Tier 2 Group C alongside Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Turks and Caicos Islands, and Guyana. The squad will open its campaign on Friday against Turks and Caicos. In international headlines, a man accused of running a 3-year securities fraud scheme targeting the Haitian community in New York, Florida, and Georgia has been arrested and indicted. New York Attorney General Letitia James says Mark Henry Menard, a Florida resident, lured investors with promises of monthly returns up to 20%, but instead lost their money in risky trades and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on luxury travel and goods. Menard now faces a 24-count indictment and, if convicted, could see up to 15 years in prison. The Attorney General urges caution when considering investment opportunities. In Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar announced that her government is preparing to sign a multi-billion-dollar contract with ExxonMobil, marking the company's return after leaving Trinidad back in 2003. ExxonMobil will begin exploration in a newly identified ultra-deep-water area off the East Coast, investing $42.5 million for the first phase, with potential development costs reaching as much as $21.7 billion. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. Less than 25 minutes to go in the show. Our phone lines are open. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. Also 949-8037. 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. So those of you who were listening earlier, I promised you that we would get some information on coercive revenue. I have had to rely on Google and AI in this regard, and you know while AI is extremely popular, it isn't necessarily 100% accurate. It's searching, for information from various sources on the internet to find the answer. So coercive revenue is defined in Cayman law as revenue collected by government under its coercive powers. I hate when they use the word that you're seeking to describe. They use that in the given the description as well. So it says revenue collected by the government under its coercive powers, and for which there is no direct exchange of any goods or services. For instance, I guess work permit fees would qualify as coercive revenue, coming from government and going to government. And that appears to form a huge part of the revenues that are collected by the Cayman Islands government. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. O.C.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Just fine, thank you. Hope you're the same.
I'm good. Thanks.
Yes, very interesting what you were talking about before, and with those guests also.
Oh, yes.
A lot all the while, and very good things coming out of what they're doing, and of course I couldn't follow everything, but I was just thinking, because I try to give my own opinion on many things, and we're talking a lot these days about our culture and our heritage, and we should have been a long time ago, and we shouldn't have succumbed to outside pressure. That was one of our gravest mistakes, particularly with the CITES Convention thing. Been against us. Most people who know me have been against signing that, and I always will be. 1983, I think it was. But we learned that Trinidad is now signing with ExxonMobil, another big deal with oil exploration, and it's quite possible they'll find with several billion barrels in reserve, or hundreds of millions anyhow. What they're doing, or Exxon will be pumping money back into there. And we know Trinidad is an oil-rich nation. We know what it was during the Second World War to the British, why we were sent over there when we volunteered, those 200-odd men. Anyhow, and Guyana also. We used to get oil from Trinidad. I know this for a fact. It used to come from there in the 70s, late 60s, and early 60s. And I know with the signing of the OPEC thing with these nations, that maybe they're part of it. I see no reason why they can't break that off. And seek to get oil at a much cheaper rate, fuel, as we know that is one of our major costs. And don't think that that's going to go away for quite a while in the future. I don't personally see that because it is a major source of our energy here. And I don't see that being changed over the near future from that type of thing. As we know, solar is there, but it's just not as reliable as diesel fuel.
And still expensive also.
And it is expensive. There's no doubt about that. They're expensive to provide the whole package. The batteries included, and anyway, all the systems to get rid of batteries, and used up, expired, useful life, and many things involved in it. There's nothing that is for free. There's always a cost, or there's always something tied to everything.
Yep.
And I just wondered if we could go about that. The thing I would say about our culture is we sort of gave it away. Not sort of, we did. We let people come here and tell us what we should and shouldn't do. The turtles, for example, a big part of it. I'll show you an example quickly with the Indians in Florida. There's an animal called the Florida panther. It's very, very rare. If they have any left alive, I'm sure it would number on your fingers on one hand. I remember years ago, this is a good 30 years ago at least, maybe more, where it was a tribal thing with Indians there to kill the panther. It was something very important and hang up its pelt, I guess, or whatever, its head. And there was a big case in court with an Indian who had shot and killed one, and there were only 7 left or 9 left at the time. I don't think it was more than 9. And it was taken to court, and it became a big thing. And he was awarded. It went in his favor, and he was set free, and said this was their tradition, and this was their to do, and it must be laid into law that this is it. Not saying that they should go. They knew themselves was very little less, and so forth. And look at us with the turtles. Had 108,000 turtles at the time when we signed that. And we know there are thousands and thousands of green turtles, of course, of Honduras and Nicaragua. They're selling them for $25. That's no secret to anyone in Cayman. We know this. And but yet still we have put it so restricted that I'm pretty sure, because I've heard calls for that from foreigners living here, that we ban the sale of turtle meat and all this. And I'm sure that there'll be another big move on to do that. The shark fishing we used to do, but we had stopped that on our own a long time ago. It was very important to us at one time. And then whales and so forth, the goggle eyes, you know, we could go on and on about this. All the restriction came by people coming here and telling us that this wasn't good, this wasn't right. We didn't stand up and say, well, no, this is our tradition, this is our heritage, this is our culture. We, the indigenous Caymanians, should be allowed to continue with a certain amount of this regulated by law. We should be able to do this. And but we didn't do that. So we end up with the position we are in now. You can't even take a turtle shell and sell it here locally or fix it up and sell it to offices. At first we could do that to hang up on their walls or some kind of decoration. All these big, powerful companies in town doing the financial world, they were allowed to do it for a while. Then that stopped, and it's become sort of a nightmare for us. So when we talk about our culture and our heritage, those things are intrinsic and basic parts of our heritage and culture. Yet we just let it go like that. We stamp it. Oh, we allow them to say we can't do it. We talk about it secretly to each other and complain and grumble about it. But we didn't get up and say the united voice, no, and so forth. And then again, we've got to consider the makeup of our judicial system, which I guess it would have to go before. But we do have our lawmakers who are Caymanians, so they should be able to stand up and say something and devise laws that could help us. But that's the only way we're going to do it. If we're forceful and say, no, this is it, we're not bending over backwards anymore, we're going to stand up for this, we're going to retain this, and that It's so very simple, but we have to bend over to say, well, we need these people, and yes, we do need them, but we need them on our terms. That's what I'm trying to convey.
Mhm.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Listen
Thank you
on
very
to
much.
your great program.
Thank you. Thank you very
Great
much.
job.
Great contribution as well. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to take our last commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Storms bring wind, rain, and unexpected costs to buy supplies, secure your home, or make minor repairs. Incidental expenses not covered by insurance. Until now, with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks of a Category 3 or stronger hurricane, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco's homeowners insurance. Visit cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Start. Stop. That's how long it takes to react to a child crossing the street. How long would it take you to apply the brakes? How long would it take the parents to forgive you? How long would it take you to forgive yourself? Slow down. Save a life. Not only theirs, but your own. Texting, speeding, and ignoring safety rules can cost lives. Visit gov.ky/road safety to learn more and help keep our roads safe.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I am your guest host. My name is Orrett Connor and we are on the last leg of the show this afternoon. We do have a caller. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. O.C. Connor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am good, sir. You doing good?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, I'm up here in the middle of the bluff in Cayman Brac, so I don't know if you can hear me clearly, but...
Pretty hearing you loud and clear at the moment.
Very good, sir. I want to, I heard my old buddy there, Mickey Holston, I call him my genius, mention CITES.
Mm-hmm.
CITES shut down the Cayman Islands from doing any turtle product, but they let us farm for turtle meat, apparently. And what I want to say is there any chances of the government going back and negotiating with CITES to at least import a few thousand tons of turtle meat in the open season from Costa Rica and Nicaragua, because they're still butchering turtles down there. Now I know CITES had shut down the hunting of buffaloes some years back, and they got so many buffaloes that they had to pay the farmers to shoot them, because they started to breed so rapidly. They also did it over there in the northeast part of Canada with the cod. They shut that down, fishing ground down for 5 years, and then they reopen it up, and they give them now the opportunity to catch cod, but on a basis of so many pounds per season. I'm wondering if we couldn't do that with CITES also. Go back and say, listen, let us import just the meat for when the season is open. I don't know if anybody ever thought of that, but I think it could work. Right now, we can't get no meat from the farm. I understand they stop butchering.
I wasn't aware of that. I hadn't heard that they'd stop butchering.
Well, a friend of mine told me that they stopped last Thursday, I think, or Friday. I'm not sure how true it is, but that was the news he got from them.
Well, I think the first thing we should bear in mind is that we voluntarily joined CITES,
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah, CITES, to my knowledge, and I'm trying to, I just Googled CITES and the Cayman Islands, but, they talk about artificial intelligence. I prefer my ordinary and natural intelligence any day than this artificial one, because I put in CITES, of course, all in uppercase to make sure that it wasn't misinterpreted in any way. And I put in CITES and the Cayman Islands, and it comes up with cities, towns, villages, and stuff like that. But if my memory serves me correct, we joined CITES probably with some pressure from the United Kingdom. Now, whether or not we were in a position to negotiate a better deal, or whether or not the conditions were across the board for everyone, but at the end of the day, we didn't do a whole lot to protect our turtling industry here in the Cayman Islands. And even now with the turtle farm, when we had representatives in from the Cayman Turtle Center, let me call it the official name, and I mentioned to them that I was on a flight with the Premier going to London from Miami on Virgin Atlantic, and Richard Branson, owner of Virgin Atlantic, was on board that flight. And, he switched seats and came next to the Premier and was talking, about the Turtle Center, because he was then at that time putting a lot of pressure on the Cayman Islands about the Turtle Center. I am told that since he had an opportunity to actually visit the Turtle Center, his mind has changed somewhat on it. But we're very lucky to even have the Turtle Center operating the way that it is now because of those pressures. But, I guess, again, being an overseas territory and with the UK being a signatory to it, we were probably under some pressure to become a member of CITES and join it as well. I'll see what more I can find out about it. If I had my good friend, Mr. Colonel Gomez, around, he would know because he was intricately involved with that, along with Jim Wood and Joe Parsons.
Well, Mr. O.C.?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you had gone.
No.
It would be very interesting to find out what can be done in the form and shape of negotiation. Because, if we don't get the farm turtle, what's going to happen to the bunch of turtle that we raise around the shores here. Because Caymanian's going to eat turtle meat no matter what.
That's true. That is so true.
And that's not a threat. That's a fact. Anyway, good. It's good talking to you. And
okay, thank you.
Some research.
Yeah, I'll see what I can find out about our membership in CITES. Yes, definitely will.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Paul, I want to try to finish this Q2 2025 report as well. So why don't we only have about 4 minutes left. We'll close the phone lines off so I can share as much of this release because it has been gazetted, so it is a public document now as well. So in the Q2 2025 report talks about the government revenues and expenses. So under expenses, it says expenses for the 6 months of 2025 amounted to $572.3 million. The amount was $27.8 million more than the year-to-date budget of $544.5 million. So we spent more in terms of expenses. Compared to the prior year-to-date actual expense for QT were $60 million higher. So maybe that is what this $60 million that we keep hearing about, that is, what that is coming from. The release goes on to say that there were some savings against budget in personnel costs by $8.8 million and supplies and consumables by $8.2 million. So that's another $17 million. However, these savings were offset by higher than budgeted levels of expenditure in outputs from statutory authorities and government companies by $12 million. So this is not core government now. Statutory authorities and government companies, they negated the savings that were made in personnel costs and supplies and consumables by their higher than budgeted levels of expenditure by $12.1 million, outputs from non-governmental suppliers by $20 million, and transfer payments by $21.3 million. Transfer payments and moving monies from one line item to the other that the cabinet, the government is allowed to do. Then talking about the performance of statutory authorities and government companies. SAGCs recorded a combined net operating surplus of $7.5 million for the first 6 months of 2025, which was $8.5 million more favorable than the budgeted operating deficit of $1 million. So they were forecasting a deficit of $1 million. They actually made $8.5 million more. Based on the most recent information received from statutory authorities and government companies, this favorable variance is mainly attributed to results being better than expected at the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority, National Roads Authority, and the Port Authority. These favorable variances were partially offset by an unfavorable performance of the Health Services Authority. So again, we see some statutory authorities and government companies doing well, but then others, like the Health Services Authority, not doing so well, and as a result of that, negating the gains and the advantages that the other statutory authorities and government companies would have achieved. Cash position of government, I've got to share this with you before we go. Says here, cash and cash equivalent, including fixed deposits with maturity durations not exceeding 90 days, were $112.5 million, and marketable securities, which are comprised solely of fixed deposits with maturity durations exceeding 90 days, but not exceeding 1 year, were $382.3 million, for a total of $494.8 million with respect of bank account balances. So the cash position of the Cayman Islands government, we're looking at $494.8 million. Goes on to say that due to the significant cash balances on hand, the government continues to place funds on fixed deposits. So, folks, government isn't broke. We got money on fixed deposits and everything else. We have $494.8 million. That doesn't mean that we should go out there and spend it all now. What are the conclusions? Conclusions are, the report's conclusions note that while the second quarter's performance has positioned the government to be optimistic about its performance for 2025, costs will continue to increase as more personnel vacancies are filled and projects come online over the remaining 2 quarters. Still 2 quarters left in the year. These costs will have to be diligently monitored to ensure spending is not incurred unnecessarily. If the planned increases in operating activity occur during the remainder of 2025, the surplus as of 30th of June 2025 is expected to be significantly reduced, the report said. Well, I would say this much, that, some people look at government and say, well, and this, I believe, was one of the criticisms of the progressive, the PPM government. They used to like to say at the end of any financial year how well they did, from a financial position. But if the government is doing good and the people are suffering, having a good bank balance at the end of the day does not help the man on the street. Yes, government needs to be in a position where there's cash on hand, and our Constitution and the FFR and everything else makes provisions for that government has to have certain amounts for certain periods of time. So that is there as well. But if the people are hurting and the people need help financially and the government has the money, that is what should be done. They should spend it, because at the end of the day, where did they get that money from? They got that money from the people to begin with. Now, I notice here that what they have said, that the cost will increase for 2025, for the last 2 quarters of 2025, as more personnel vacancies are filled. Well, government should look at filling those critical positions, those like, for instance, if the fire service needs additional personnel, if Customs and Border Control needs, additional personnel as well. Those things that help to keep us safe and that are vital, and not any of these vanity projects that bring on people, especially overseas personnel, not hiring Caymanians for these vanity projects. We need to remove those vanity projects and finance those areas of government where the people benefit and where health and security are addressed as well. Folks, with that, I welcome you to join me tomorrow morning at 7:30 on For the Record. Have a great evening. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these 3 beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens.